Hello and welcome to the Round Table for Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross.
I'm Konnor Shenold.
Johnny Payne.
Kiri Hester.
Brooke Bullock.
And Ash King.
We are talking about episodes 91 through 94. Woo! Yeah, what a wild ride.
That was a pretty weak response. Can we try that again?
I'm very tired.
From the plane of dread. That was super exciting. It just got the
We're
tap
super
on
excited. I'm like, is everyone still asleep? What's going on here,
I can
guys?
glare at Konnor louder.
it. So when did we know, oh God, they did that?
Huh?
I guess we were in the Isle of Dread in 89? Maybe?
Yeah, it was like 88
Yeah.
to 89.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
So it's so dreadful. I
It's
can't
very
remember
dreadful.
when it started.
That was so dreadful.
Time doesn't exist.
Anyway, sorry. I thought that was going to be a great question, and it wasn't.
So the first four, the previous four of this, we went from the Temple of Nightmare, or Temple of
Thundercrack.
to the Pillars,
to
the Domain of Dread.
Dread.
This four is just being in the Domain of Dread.
Oh.
And folks, if you have not listened yet, there will be
Spoilers!
spoilers, so make sure you go back and listen. We'll wait. We'll still be here. But it was still very interesting, and the big question goes to Ash. Were you excited to be able to take us into the Domain of Dread?
Yes. More excited than you would know.
Why?
Because, Michael.
They're evil and sadistic and twisted.
Evil.
They want to torture us. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what about the plane of dread?
They just do that anyway.
No, it's one of those things I think, so obviously what feels like 5 years ago, Michael, you and I went through the Ravenloft book.
Oh, yeah,
on A&M Talk D&D. And it's been one of those things that I have a soft spot in my heart for the Domains of Dread and just the whole concept of this is the place where your fears come to play.
Right.
And there's just something, I don't know, it's the little gothic edgelord in me. It's just
And gosh, we
baby
probably
bat.
don't know.
little baby bat.
We probably can't talk about this yet. I mean, even as a player, I don't know yet. I was gonna ask, so whose domain is this? But I don't know if you can answer that question.
If
it's Nightmare.
Who's the
or
real
Mind
Dark
Eater.
Lord of this domain?
Right.
I need to speak to the manager.
Okay, Karen, chill out.
Go on, Karen.
Well, I mean, I feel I technically kind of feel like that we have kind of talked about that. Because when Kiri, when Poppy was doing the commune,
Yes.
she was, doing the whole communing with nature. And it's like, okay, you feel like there are two powerful presences here, Nightmare and the Mind Eater.
The freaky baby.
The freaky baby.
Eater
The cosmic
feels more
horror.
alien than the
I tell you what, when we got those Cthulhu vibes, it freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie.
as it should.
The Weird West just got weirder.
And it's not unprecedented that you would have two powerful entities in one domain battling each other. That's actually happened in some other in the written in Ravenloft. So it's not uncommon, and I love the idea of it.
I'll say that technically, the OG, Ravenloft properties, technically, Strahd and, Harkin, the werewolf one, for a while, they were just in the same, they were all in Barovia. And then, later on it got, they all got, split up into different domains. But, yeah, it's just there's precedent for it where they're technically being quote unquote two Dark Lords in one. It's a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
Aren't we lucky?
Which is just so much fun for the residents of that domain.
Oh yes.
I feel that's the worst is when you read through Ravenloft. It's if you feel so bad for anybody who's just caught in it. Really.
Yeah, it's you have the adventurers that constantly get sucked into Domains of Dread, and they're just meat for the meat grinder, really.
Yes.
They're literally there as entertainment for the particular Dark Lord of that domain. But then you have the denizens of the domain who typically, for the most part, are just normal people trying to live their lives under extraordinary circumstances.
Like the Dragonborn that tried to trip Cal because he was messing up his grass.
Yeah.
That's it, right.
There you go. And so then another, maybe we can talk about it, maybe we can't question, is that outside of the ziggurat is this.
Stop it, Johnny.
I have a spray bottle today,
It's
John.
just automatic. I can't help it. I'm sorry, Brooke. Outside of the ziggurat.
I kept my self control is really good.
Thanks for that,
It's a small
Sam Riegel.
town, or at least a ruined city or whatever, which then begs the question for Brooke, the player, of is that a mirror image of something lifted, from outside of Nightmare's actual temple? There used to be a whole complex around the mountain that has been crumbled.
I honestly thought that too, because when
Yeah.
I first heard like Nightmare and Ziggurat, I'm like, what would Nightmare's temple have looked like had it not been in a mountain?
Yes.
And yeah, I thought that too. If it was just
And especially what would have looked like 6,000 years ago before there was
right.
a majority of, before the Empire.
Like it was a
yeah.
Mirror Episode of Star Trek or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Full circle.
And if not, then
Gaz wandering around with a goatee.
or a shirt on.
Always in a slinky outfit.
And if not, then was this a populous city that have all been through the meat grinder?
Right.
So, Ash, can you talk about either one of those as your vision with that?
I think so. My whole thing about the dragons is that, like, whenever I talk about the dragons, I want people to have a sense of these things used to be the dominant power in the frontier, 6,000-7,000 years ago. Was like they had a reign where they were like the dominant power in the frontier, and then something happened, whether it was just the Empire of the Eternal Flame or maybe a series of things happened, and they kind of ceased to be the dominant power in the Callban frontier and have kind of mostly gone, for the most part, have literally and figuratively gone underground in more ways than one. And that's something we'll touch on, a little more as the campaign kind of goes on a little farther. And maybe we'll get to see what happened to some of those dragons, depending on, some of those other dragons. Because we know Nightmare basically has trapped himself in order to fight the Mind Eater and try to stave off the Mind Eater. Because again, can you imagine what would happen if that cosmic horror was free on the frontier and able to run amok?
Right.
So he's basically, it's like in some ways he trapped himself in order to be able to try to trap the Mind Eater, and maybe he bit off a little more than he could chew. Haha. And so maybe you're seeing an echo of like how things used to be under the dragons. The other idea that I kind of like is that I like the idea of these dragons having more than one spot. That's like their spot.
Yeah.
It's like it's feasible that they had multiple temples and, that were separate from the places where they layered, that were separate from, places where their followers stayed, kind of thing. And like they just constantly moved between these places, so that way, it was never, you can always find Nightmare here.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a summer home. And,
Exactly.
But it's
The Winter Palace.
Yeah. And there's in Fizzbands it talks about the fact that by the time you reach an ancient dragon status, you have hordes all over the place. There is not just your one horde. There's not just one place where you go. There are several different places. So I think
have
that's,
fallbacks.
Yeah, I think that's the way it would be with Nightmare. These are all ancient dragons that could have different places that they call home. We did actually, in episode 91, fought some of the powers of Nightmare, although we didn't know at the time. We just thought they were fiendish dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
We often find ourselves fighting powers of Nightmare. Not realizing it.
And not
Right?
interrogating.
Right, Fury?
I don't know what you're looking at me for.
All those kobolds and
I wasn't there
Nightmare?
for that. That's
Still
on
feel
y'all.
bad about that. Why would you bring that up? Rude.
Because we all feel bad about it.
We all feel
Except for
bad.
Gaz, who wasn't there at the time. But Gideon
Gaz
still
is
feels
completely
bad about
innocent. Gideon in the afterlife feels terrible.
that. But it was really good. I actually thought that as a team, we did a really good job of fighting. What did you guys think of that battle?
Oh, it
I'm
was.
offended by that statement
So-
because I did nothing.
Oh, I
that whole
disagree.
combat, I bit him once for like 4 points of damage. That was everything I did. I'm glad to know you guys don't need me.
But look at how much Poppy's learning. Like she's like, oh wait, I have a dark vision spell. I don't have to
Right.
nerf myself with a panther. Although that sounds really weird to say.
But your Puma was adorable. And that's what matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fan art opportunities are right
I
there.
just feel like we maybe operated better as a team fighting the Hydra or fighting.
When we fought the Hydra, all you did was
okay.
stand there.
But I was at least holding a spell.
Oh, right.
So at least for like one
But
of
yeah,
the,
you guys did really great. I say that all as a joke.
I would say like for the first time since Gaz has joined the party, that was like the first time that we actually really gelled.
True.
Yeah.
Like with Gaz in particular. And some of us might have not as done as much, but it's okay because every point of attack hit
Yeah.
helps.
And it was really
Every hit
powerful.
point is sacred.
Exactly.
That's right. And it was really amazing. I really enjoyed it. But then one got away, and we went chasing after it. And then Mockrin.
Mockery.
Hi, I'm Cochran. Welcome to Jackass.
Come on, it was gonna be. If I'd pulled that off, that would have been epic.
I mean,
It
I
would have
did
been
give
so
him. I did give him a roll to attempt to, like, fall on the Dragonborn and try to catch the Dragonborn as it was flying away. He failed, but I still allowed it.
it was.
So at the end of the day, is it my fault that he didn't do as good as he could have? No.
It was the dice.
It was not the dice, Mockrin.
We're over here Pythagorean
Wow.
theorem.
Yeah, there was that.
That's
There was
fine.
that moment where truly, Brooke thought that would be really cool. I bet we could pull that off. Mark was like, "Let's go for it." And so then I'm like, "Okay." And so then I say it out loud, and then realize, the thing I didn't clarify with the DM was, how high up are we? So we did. We had a Pythagorean moment. That
I thought 20 feet
yeah.
was a good, but still, all you could have dimension doored to like a rooftop
Yeah.
and shot him from there. I mean, that was a great idea to get closer to him. But dimension dooring in midair.
Yeah.
Good
You
idea.
pulled a Pythagorean moment. The look on your face was an oh poop moment.
Yeah. It really, really was. As I thought, I didn't clarify how high we are. I didn't ask Ash how high they were. So we're in big trouble if it could be.
So, oops, there goes Mockerin.
Anyway, and in the Discord, then we posted the picture of the 4 pictures, no
Spoilers
spoilers
without
thing, just
context.
the guy falling through the roof. That
Yeah.
was pretty fun.
Yeah. So we've actually gone 13 minutes already, and
Oh, wow.
so we are going to close this down. We still need to talk about episodes 92, 93,
We do.
94.
And we've got questions coming in from
Yeah.
the Discord
I've
right
seen that,
now.
yeah.
Patrons are asking us questions
yeah.
right
Because
now.
I did the thing where I was like, I added everybody in the Discord, as annoying as that can be sometimes. But I did the thing, and so the questions are pouring in, so I'm
Nicely
excited.
done.
We only do it
If we answer
during
Dunik's question, we will be
roundtables,
here
so-
for 2 hours.
That's right.
We'll message you, Dunik.
If you do,
We'll talk to you about that.
If you have any questions, you can always send it to us. If you become a patron, not only will you get the full version of this roundtable, but you can also ask us questions when you join us on our Discord server, which we're very excited to have you. We did have a brand new patron join just this past week.
Had a couple,
Yeah,
actually.
so it's really exciting. We've had a couple new ones, and we just want you to be part of it. So join us right at patreon.com/reddirtdnd and be part of the conversation that we're going through. Any last words you want to say to the non-patron members?
We love you just the same.
We do.
Just keep listening. Leave a review. Those reviews help almost more than anything else.
That's right. And share us to your friends, your family.
Rate, review, share.
Do what my wife does, which is just talk to total strangers and tell them about Red Dirt
There you
D&D.
go.
Tell them the good news about Red Dirt
Yeah.
D&D.
And if you play D&D, tell your table. I think all of us here have shared it with our
100%.
tables
Yeah.
because it's once people listen, you're listening to it right now. You know how much you can really get into this. So we're excited to have you here.
There's been another hour of shenanigans going on that you can catch on, and everybody has a great time in the Discord. So
It's a party in the Discord.
It is.
Come hang out.
We're trying to make it a bigger party in the Discord.
Also, in the final few minutes, or few seconds, make sure to check out Secrets of Monster Island on YouTube.
Yes.
Check out Plausible Deniability on YouTube. A&M Talk D&D on twitch.tv/RedDirtDND. We're growing. We're growing.
Hey.
It's fantastic. It's all because of you. Because you
We
are
are
the
legion.
fans that we absolutely love. And we will keep you informed on all the things that we're going to be doing. So in the meantime, we're going to head back to the Patreon full episode of this. We will see you all on the flip side.